Sleep Hacking with London Rio, brought to you by Bulletproof. Learn how to hack your sleep.
What are your thoughts on Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Well, they say if you're going to think good to say, don't say anything. So
we'll get that off the record.
I mean, let's be serious. Arnold has done more than any individual to bring attention to bodybuilding first through pumping iron, and then through the big mainstream movies and everything. So he gave the sport a big boost through that. So we have to be thankful for that. But honestly, I don't know him really that well. We had a bit of a he felt that he had to attack modern bodybuilding and myself as the leader of modern bodybuilding in the mid-90s through the magazines. And I did a reply to him, which he shot himself in the foot because he was criticizing myself and the sport and everything. And I just replied I don't know how he can criticize me or the sport because he doesn't know me. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him personally. And he doesn't know anything about the sport because he doesn't come to watch the competitions. He never goes to Mr. Olympia. Arnold does exactly what's good for Arnold. So at that point, he wasn't coming to the competitions. And I made the response in the magazine. And I think the feedback they got, male-wise and everything at the time, was pretty much 100% in my favor because Arnold's achieved a lot, and perhaps because he has a huge ego, And there's a guy called Mike Mentzer. I don't know if you're familiar with Mike Mentzer. Mike Mentzer and Arnold were big rivals, and Arnold won the 1980 Mr. Olympia over Mike Mentzer. And it was very, very controversial because Arnold came and bowled up at the last minute and entered the contest when the rules clearly stated that you had to enter at some time period before, but the rules were bent because it was Arnold. And Arnold's friend was a promoter, and a lot of Arnold's friends were on the judging panel, and Arnold won the contest. And pretty much everybody in the sport knows and accepts that he shouldn't have won that contest. So it wasn't probably that great for him. So Mike Mentzer and Arnold had this rivalry, I guess, from there. And I was associated with Mike. I trained with him, and I knew Mike. And Mike told me, Arnold Schwarzenegger's very aware of you, and he's going to be really bothered because you're better than him. And actually, I couldn't believe it. I was like, come on, man, he don't going to give a shit. He's done what he's done. He's Arnold. I mean, now he's in the movies. He's a big star. He's a multi-millionaire. He's not going to care about who's in Mr. Olympia right now. And Mike Mentzer said to me, trust me, you don't know him. He cares, and he cares a lot. And that became apparent because a couple of years later, I got the attack in the magazine.
I wanted to actually ask you about Mike Mentzer because, he seems like such a progressive guy. Like he was always looking at different ways to train, and he was thinking out the box, And I wanted to know what your opinion was on his death. I know he died of a heart attack at a relatively young age. Do you think it was because he was pushing himself? I know he was studying philosophy all the time and doing these incredibly intense workouts. And do you think he just pushed too hard? What do you think the story was behind that?
Well, Mike, I think after the 1980 Mr. Olympia, and anyone that knows Mike knows, and when I met him, I was very struck because Mike was like my idol when I started training. And, this subject came up very quickly after I met him about the 1980 Mr. Olympia and Arnold. And I could see that this was 10, 11, 12 years later. Still, this was like right, it was in the forefront of his mind and really, really bothered him. And I do know he had problems with amphetamine use. And that, he said, that didn't help him psychologically. And I think, I'm not sure of all the facts, but I think he was sectioned once or twice, something like that. They heard stories about him doing erratic things. But actually, when I met him and the time I spent with him, he was very lucid, very clear, very intelligent guy. But sometimes when someone's very intelligent and always questioning things, do get these, these problems. So I don't know if, amphetamine use had any, I know it's not good for your heart and everything. So maybe it had some effect. I don't know, but the time that I spent with him, he seemed okay. He just, I could tell he was really bothered about that 1980 thing, and he hadn't let go of it, which is not a good thing. And he was training a lot of people in Gold's Gym. That was his thing, his training business. but he didn't train anything himself. He was, you know, he got a bit of a belly on him and stuff like that, which I kind of find hard to understand, because for me, I'll always train. You know, that's, you know, someone pissed me off because I felt, you know, I didn't win a contest or whatever. So what? That's a contest. But hey, training, exercise is a huge, has huge mental benefits. You know, it keeps you.
Brian's like that. I know. Like if you don't work out, like
yeah, it's like a natural high, right?
Yeah,
your body releases natural endorphins, painkillers. You feel good. You know, human body is supposed to do things. It's supposed to exercise. You know, it's not supposed to sit around all day. Like, we've only done that for the last couple of 100 years. Not even that, perhaps. We have thousands and thousands of years. We had to work. We had to hunt. We had to survive. The body is meant to do that. You're meant to use it. If you don't use it, it'll break down. You know. So yeah, I really don't know what caused his untimely death. And the freaky thing about it is his brother Ray passed away like within days of Mike passing away. And you know, his brother passed
Maybe
away.
Arnold Schwarzenegger had them assassinated.
I don't know, man.
Right.
You said it, not me.
Now we're gonna get sued. This week on London Real, we have astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson.